Hi guys. So today is, well, last night was the full moon. And like I did yesterday, I want to read into the energy that was released by the collective. So yesterday I felt a very inner child release. And so today, let's see what's going and being released today. I don't know about you, but I felt a humongous release last night. And it feels like even more is coming to the light today. So let's see. What is coming to the light for the collective today? Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay. So I was feeling this energy like right before I started recording about releasing judgment. And it was mainly like me thinking about a very dear friend of mine with whom I had the pleasure to speak today. And the conversation itself, it's been a minute since we spoke, but she revealed something, and then she said, I just don't talk about it because you don't want people to judge me. And I'm like, well, you know I would judge you. And she's like, oh, I know. That's why I told you. And I know that if I tell her something, she's not judging me because I've told her things that most people are like, what? But she always respects me. And if she doesn't understand, she asks. And that's what I love. And that's why the friends that I have are the friends that I have, because there's a mutual, non-judgmental respect there. None of us are from the same background, but we all have the same core, if you will. And this makes for an easier transition from judging other people to releasing judgment. And so 3 cards came out, and I'm really excited for the way this reads and in the energy that I'm getting, okay? So there has been this release of judgment, this release of need to fix. Yes, fix. There's something about the word fix. And it's almost like you're relieved that this judgment is in the reverse. Almost as if you feel like you've been exonerated. Whatever it was that you were holding on to, it's almost as if you've released the guilt and shame related to whatever it was that got released. And so now judgment is releasing this need to fix, and it's leading to the Chariot in the reverse. This is leading to a slowdown, like kind of like, whoa. Maybe these two things are connected. There's a feeling of, I want to move, but I don't. Like, oh, wow. It feels almost like this presence is like cautious. Because moving forward is unknown. There's a full card. Moving forward requires a leap. Okay. The releasing of judgment has stopped them in their tracks, and they're ready to jump. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Two of Wands is here. There is a plan to no longer walk away. Because you've released control over the Wheel of Fortune. What does that mean? Okay. Oh. Okay. So this isn't like this is interesting the way that this is here. Okay. So it feels as though this Eight of Cups and Wheel of Fortune go together, because there's a plan here to end this cycle of leaving. Yes, that's what I'm feeling. There is a plan to end this cycle of leaving. It's as if you've found the patterns and the cycles, and you're tired of walking the same cycle pattern over and over again. Which, if that's true, like, congratulations for recognizing your patterns. Congratulations for consciously deciding to close a cycle. That's magnificent. To be self-aware enough to be able to notice a pattern in self alone is super emotionally mature. Damn, they just all kinds of coming out now. There's so much that wants to be said. All right, so we have three people cards that came out, all three in the reverse. And then we also had the Nine of Cups that came out upright, and then 5 cards over here that I will get to next. So here's a very interesting combination here. Okay, and it's connected to the Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse. This feels very feels very deep. Okay, so we have 3 cards in the reverse. We have the King of Cups in the reverse, and the King of Coins in the reverse, and then also the Hierophant in the reverse. Now, I love that the Hierophant is in the reverse. I'm always a huge fan of the Hierophant being in the reverse, because I see the Hierophant in the reverse as a spiritual person who has released themselves from the rigidity. So when I see the Hierophant card in most decks, like it looks, oh, look at that. He's right there on the bottom. Look at that. He is looks like he's in Pope robes. And this right here screams rigidity. Like, this is religion. But I see the Hierophant in the reverse as the spiritual rebel. That's the way that I read the energy. And that's the way I see the difference in this. Okay, so in this particular case, like I feel it as the spiritual rebel, but it doesn't necessarily have to. That's how I'm reading the energy, because this person is wise, but they're non-conventional. And the reason why all three of them are in the reverse is it feels as if you met on a different timeline, where in one timeline you were this way and they were this way. And then it almost feels like a tearing of energies, like a back and forth. Like this is the King of Cups versus the King of Coins, but they're both inverted. So neither of them are healed. Oh, that makes sense. That's why it's connected to the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and this Eight of Cups in the reverse, is because this is the polar opposites, that the Hierophant in the middle is kind of like the spectrum in between. But both are unhealed and need that Hierophant in the middle in order to be able to basically act as the relay between the two. The emotional body and the physical body. And then you have this Hierophant in the middle going back between the emotional body and the physical body, allowing the two to be able to sink in. And that leads to this Nine of Cups. Wow, that's really interesting. So inverted, with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, inverted, this King of Cups and King of Coins was able to speak through this inverted Hierophant, leading to the Nine of Coins, which I feel like might lead to the transformation and or that which was released. So let's see what we got here. We've got Page of Swords, Strength in the reverse, the Seven of Cups, the Four of Coins in the reverse, and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So the Page of Swords, I feel like this is like the bringer of truth, but not necessarily in a way. It's kind of like the energy that I'm feeling from this is kind of like you got bitch slapped. Or as I like to say, ego slapped. So it was like the Page of Swords is like truth slapped you in the face, and it was brought to you in a way that was like a storm. Because this Page of Swords, like his eyes look like a storm. They're electric, and they're blue, electric blue. Look at that. That's the, flame of truth. Archangel Michael. Okay, so there's, and not to mention the fact that he's got, is that a club? It is a blue flaming club. He beat the truth into you with a club. That's kind of funny. Oh, wow. So, that's funny. Okay, so these two come together. All right, so we've got the Page of Swords next to the Strength in the reverse, and that's what it was. It was getting slapped in the face for the truth that you weren't as brave as you thought you were. That you weren't as strong as you thought you were. Oh, that you weren't the strongest in the room. Even though you had thought you were for a long time, and this is the Seven of Cups. Oh, wow. This is the timeline of what happened when, you got beat with a club of truth to show you that you weren't as strong as you thought, which by the way, I'm not laughing at you. I've been there a billion times. A billion and a half, maybe more. I don't know. Okay, but you got hit in the face with a bit of a truth. Ego slapped. To realize that you weren't as strong as you thought you were, or even as courageous or as compassionate. And this shattered your illusions and led to the realization that you've been the dragon sitting on top of a freaking treasure for absolutely no reason. You've been guarding this treasure with your life, whatever that treasure is for you. But now this is the illusion being removed kind of feels like this energy of I was guarding the wrong treasure. And the Seven of Swords is also in reverse after that. And it feels like it's also removing the illusions. So this is an emotional illusion. This is a material illusion. And this is a lie manipulation. Okay. So the truth that hit you was that you weren't as strong as you thought. You were living an emotional illusion, a physical illusion, and a truth illusion, a manipulation. And this is what you released. And it's all because you found the Nine of Cups while you were inverted. Okay. So we have one more night of full moon tonight. So let's see what energies, Two of Cups and Emperor, that should be focused on or that may enter. Think with your discernment. Feel it with your intuition. The energies that come forward are the ones that still need to be released. What are the energies that are coming forward that still need to be released? I want you to realize that even though this may be scary, that which is on the other side isn't as scary as what it looks like on this side. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but let me explain it in the way that I've explained it before. Let me see what would be a good one for this. Let's just pick the one off the top. Okay, perfect, actually. Okay, so if I show you this card, you are seeing this side, right? And oh my gosh, it's death. It's scary. But what am I looking at? The back of it. This is the other side. You can't see this side because you're seeing this side, right? But I can see this side. And so that message was literally to tell you that even though it may look scary on this side, on the other side, it's a pretty design. Make sense? You can't see the full picture until you cross to the other side. Whatever that crossing may be, the River Jordan comes to mind. Maybe you need to connect with your emotional body. Go to a river. I know it's like winter in the Northern Hemisphere. But polar plunge. The Russians do it like on a daily basis in the wintertime because it's good for old people, apparently. I don't know. I'm not old. Nor do I like the cold. Nor would I ever do a polar plunge. Sorry, not my style. I give advice. I don't have to live it. Just kidding. Okay, let's see. We got 4 cards that came out. What are the energies we've got here? Oh, wow, these are great. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Okay, the energies that are here are the 5 of Swords, the Hermit in the reverse, the Justice in the reverse, and the 2 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so I see the ones that are in the reverse as things that no longer serve you. And so I will read them as both that which can serve you and that which can drown you. And therefore, this gives you an informed decision on whether or not it's something that you yourself should discern if it's something that you need to release from your life. But this very first one is absolutely like this is it. Everybody should let this one go. And it's the 5 of Swords energy. So the 5 of Swords energy is... that's the react. That's the don't take a second to absorb and think and let everything trigger you. This is the universe saying, let go of default reaction and let in informed response. Okay? There's something here about chaos beneath the surface. So, because it's not just chaos beneath the surface. That's like straight up like, that is the serpent, the chaos serpent. Hold on a second. I usually do this before they get home from school. But anyway, okay. So the chaos serpent, it's referring to the chaos that is beneath the surface within you. Okay, this is the strife that you're facing. It doesn't necessarily have to do with an outside energy. This is you responding to self. Okay, so one of the things that I tell everybody is it's okay to fall. Don't get mad at yourself. It's okay to fall, as long as you keep getting back up. The chaos that is beneath the surface that maybe nobody in the world can see, you have control over that. When you remember what the chaos is for. It's not bad. It's a necessary part of the natural cycle and the natural order of things. When we remember what that dragon within is for, it's no longer a matter of taming it. It's a matter of, I want to say naming it, but that's not it. It could be. If you name that chaos, it becomes a purpose, right? So I'm drawn to something I stated about the Tower card recently. On the Tower card in this particular deck, there is an eye above the tower. And it really looks as if it is swirling fire chaos around absolute stillness. Okay? So the chaos has a purpose. If you remember what that purpose is, and apparently name it, then it is no longer something you have to control, but something you become aware of. And then it kind of sleeps, unless it's necessary. Okay, and the next is we have the Hermit card, the Justice, and the Hermit, the Justice, and the Two of Swords all in the reverse. Okay, so let's talk about the Hermit in the upright position. The Hermit energy is this energy of going within and finding that connection to self. I spoke about consciousness yesterday or the day before, I don't even remember anymore, about how when we connect to the consciousness within us, that spark that comes from the divine, that spark of life, okay? When we connect to that spark of life, we connect to our inner world. And that inner world is where our fire is, okay? And that's what's in this right here. Like this hermit, he's tending to that fire within. And the cosmos is behind him, supporting him. Okay? So in the upright position, this is an indication that it is time to go inward, because the next phase after hermit comes teacher. You are called to be a humanitarian when you go into hermit mode, because the hermit holds the lantern, because the hermit knows his way around in the dark and passes that light on to the next person. In the reverse position, this is saying it's time to come out of your hidey hole. It's time to stop hiding. This isn't about going inward. This is about isolation. Are you isolating yourself, cutting yourself off from the external light that is around you? There's other lights around you that will see your light if you come out of isolation. This is the energy for the hermit. The next is the justice. I'm always drawn to a very specific feeling when I see this particular justice, okay? I am always drawn to the knight, because the knight, in order to be the knight, he has a code of honor that he must abide by. This knight has a red cloak. That's significant. Why? What kind of a knight wears a cloak in battle? Now, he's not just there. He's facing his higher self. He's facing that which was within him that he may not have recognized prior because of being unconscious. This is facing the truth of what you may have done on default mode. Not necessarily good or bad. It's objectively witnessing what you did, what you went through, what you said, what you saw, what everybody else did, how you responded and or reacted, and then the aftermath of it all. What did you do to yourself in the aftermath? Were there hundreds and hundreds of aftershock earthquakes? What did that cause? What did that create? So this is not just facing self. This is facing self by connecting to the higher self and changing your understanding by seeing it from the bigger picture. The soul growth, not necessarily what you did in this lifetime, but the growth and or de-evolution of the soul. Okay? In the reversed position, this is a denial. This is refusing to accept what. This is just refusal to accept. So radical acceptance is a concept within the psychological world that literally tells you you just got to accept it. But it's a deeper understanding than that. It's not just the acceptance of what happened or did not happen. It's the acceptance of the reason why. So in the Matrix, the Oracle when Neo meets her and she asks if he wants a piece of candy, and he's like, well, why would you ask me if you're the Oracle? Wouldn't you already know? Like, do I even have free will? Yes. And your free will isn't necessarily in what you do, but your intention and the aftermath. Okay? It's how you choose to experience it. And this is failing to accept that which you went through and or that which your intuition is telling you. So that is the Justice card. And the last one is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords, I like to call this my Warrior Monk card, because this is obviously a warrior. Obviously. Now, that warrior is blindfolded, but he's not weaponless. He's not necessarily on guard, hypervigilant, but hyper aware. He doesn't need his eyes. He has his other senses. And knowing that he's blind to illusion allows him to rest into peace while being aware of what's going on around, not expecting bad to happen, but being prepared in case a situation requires de-escalation. This is done with war. This is peace after the war. The finally recognizing there is no reason to fight. Not for external reasons, because the battle that was within is no longer a battle. You can feel it in the energy of that. That is heavy peace. It's not just peace. This is the unburdening of so much war within. This is recognizing you are never a monster. In the reversed position, this is anxiety over the war. This is hypervigilance and never being able to relax. I know this feeling. Always on edge. Always ready. Fight or flight mode like 1,000% of the time. Anxiety creeping in moments of stillness. This is waging that war within. That's still fighting the battle. Okay. You know what's interesting? There's water on this. This is an air card. But one of the elements looks like water. I feel like that's emotional peace. That which the King of Cups in the reverse was not, is in this Two of Swords. I see the releasing of resistance. I see the releasing of illusion. I see the releasing of judgment, maybe of self. I see the releasing of fears and walls and sneaky manipulative behaviors and strife. There's a lot that you're releasing. Have released, will release, will have had released. That was from an episode of Big Bang Theory, by the way. They were arguing grammar in the silliest context. It was great. I loved it. Okay, so congratulations on all that you have already released. Stay strong, my friend. The Two of Swords energy, I release. I give all of that peace, every single time I can. That calm, still water with a silvery moonlight shimmering on the top. Barely a breeze, no ripples, perfectly like glass. Dip into that water, my friend. It's cool, not cold. Refreshing. A little mucky on the bottom, but nothing the water won't clean on the way out. Bye, guys.